Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting day here at Thruxton Race Circuit, where we've got a fantastic racing package lined up for you today. We've got pickup trucks, we've got MG Owners Club, we've got the minis again, but of course, the heavy hauliers of the racing world. We've got the British Truck Racing Championship, and today, a special treat for the spectators down here at Thruxton, near Andover. We've got a grid walk. Now, the grid walk started about 15-20 minutes ago, which of course means that a few people now are starting to make their way back to safety, but lots of people have come down and loads of people on the banks already for a fantastic day of racing. We've had some heavy rain already this morning, but as you can see, we've got some lovely sunshine this morning as well. So let's have a little look-see if we can't find some drivers to have a chat to. Over here then with Dave Smith. We've not had much chance to speak to you. Come around here, buddy. We've seen plenty of people taking pictures with you today. We've not had a chance to catch up with you this weekend. How are things?
Yeah, good. Third time out, isn't it? So, yeah, just finding my feet, really. Been a long time since I've been Thruxton. Yeah, no, it's good.
And what do you think's great about these grid walks? Is it good getting among the fans and getting to see some faces?
Yeah, I think it just draws the crowds in, just gets them, in with the drive, the racing, and it's just the experience of it. So, yeah, I think it's good for the drivers to sort of meet, a few people and everyone else. Yeah, it's good. It's good interaction.
I think it's a great thing for the sport in general. I mean, it's been so many years since we've actually had grid walks with the British Truck Racing, and I just think people enjoy them so much, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I say, it's the interaction with the crowds. They come here to see the racing and actually get up close with the trucks. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
So reverse grid today, then where does that see you starting this race?
Yeah, we're second row, third. So yesterday started on the back. Lap times were coming on yesterday, so hopefully we should be there or thereabouts.
Fingers crossed, all to play for. I know. I mean, we've got that kind of semi-dry now, haven't we? Because it rained heavy. Now it's warming up a little bit. Are there going to be any last-minute changes, or are we going to stick with the setup you've got?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. We left the garage with a wet setup. We come out on the grid. Yeah, exactly. It's sort of drying out. We're looking at the track, so we've actually changed our setup.
Right, here we go. All eyes on Dave Smith then for the first race of Sunday. Dave, thanks for talking to us, buddy. Good luck with your first race. Let's have a look, see who else we can find along here as well. We spoke to John Bowler, of course, yesterday. I love as well how much effort they put into these trucks last night. Of course, no major damage yesterday apart from poor old Stuart Oliver, who we did actually get a chance to chat to earlier, and you'll be able to have a look at that interview on the lunch break, hopefully. Dave Jenkins, phenomenal effort yesterday, taking 2 trophies home already. Good morning. Hi there. Hi. Hi, let's get you on camera. How are we? Come on in for meal. Whereabouts are you based today? Where are you watching?
Newton.
But where are you watching?
We'll probably end up over the bank.
Over on the bank. Were you here yesterday?
No, I was here last year though.
You were here last year though, obviously. I mean, everybody remembers people from last year. I've not met any other new people since last year.
I'm still walking around with my chair.
You're still walking around with your chair. You know, I'll take that home eventually, mate. The whole year.
Might get to use it.
You never know. And who's this?
I'm Kira.
Hi, Kira. Nice to meet you. And you are?
Claire.
Hi Claire. So yes, and you've just come down for today, then I take it, to see the truck racing. I mean, we've got a BTRA hoodie here, we've got a Slip the Clutch, might have been a Marty Moan on the go there as well. Why aren't you wearing anything truck racing? Oh, it's all about trucks.
Yeah.
Do you drive yourself?
Yeah.
What have you got?
Driver Renault, T-Range.
T-Range.
Steel.
A what?
On the steel.
Right.
Delivery.
What does that mean? On the steel? I was in you delivering steel.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, I thought that was like a trucker term. But like, cool, man, yeah. On the steel, yeah. Right, got you, cool.
Yeah, local companies.
From to here, I take it.
Yeah, we're based in Henstridge.
Right, do you know where that is? Good. You want to shut up, you do. Since I come over, just constant.
Somerset Dorset border.
Yeah,
Somerset Dorset border.
Yeah.
Right, okay, there we go.
too far
So that's, yeah, it's weird where we are. Thruxton's one of those circuits in your head. I've been coming here for many years now and I never quite figure out where it is. It's like I can see it on a map, but it's like I'm close to that, but then I'm also close to that. But I'm actually not far off the M5. Like, where am I? It's like right, well, thanks for coming down today, guys. Great to see you all. Enjoy the first race. Excited for the first race?
I'm very excited.
Very excited. See, you're starting to loosen up a bit now. There we go. I'll come back in 20 minutes. We'll do this again. Right. Definitely not. I'll get told off. Won't even mention who's there. Who have we got over here? Pardon? They're clearing the grid. Oh, crikey, right. You should have just said that. I thought you wanted to, yeah. Well, there we go. Well, it looks like that's all we've got time for. As you can see, everyone's making their way back to the viewing areas, slightly modified viewing areas this year. We've got 3 fantastic races coming up for you, the first of which will be starting in a matter of minutes. So I'm going to throw over to Ewan, and you'll be hearing my voice again, unfortunately for you, very soon. Over to Ewan in the commentary box.
Thank you, Pointy. Yes, we are ready for day number 2 of the track action. Look, we're here. We've got commentator cam for the very, very first time. And you can see next to me, I've got Charlotte Birch. So today, we have got Wayne Rocket commentating with me on the coupes. Pointy is currently sprinting. He doesn't look like one, but he is a sprinter, Pointy. He'll be here in a second. But for the junior saloons, I've got Charlotte Birch. Now, Charlotte, I put a call out yesterday on commentary for anybody to join me in co-coms if they're an expert and they want to get into broadcasting. I mean, you are the expert on junior saloons. Charlotte is an instructor for the junior saloons. She's also an instructor here at Thruxton. Looking to get into, you've already done a bit of broadcasting. I've seen the interviews you've done on your Instagram. Looking forward to commentate for the first time today, though.
Yeah, I think starting commentating on the JSCC is going to be great. Obviously, I know the championship. I know this track probably better than any of the other tracks sort of in the UK. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. And I think having the rain this morning, the weather's a bit on and off, so I think it'll be an interesting race. I
mean, I think on and off is being polite. It's been an absolute downpour, but we have got some blue skies out of our commentary box, and we are looking forward to racing. There's 12 races coming up today across, as Pointy said, the trucks, the junior saloons, the MG Owners Club. We've got the pickups back as well. Loads going on, so please do stick with us. Pointy will be here any second, and we are going truck racing for our first race of the day. This is the fastest circuit in the UK. Mentioned it yesterday. 1993, Damon Hill in his Williams Formula One car averaged 147 miles per hour. Now, Charlotte, you raced yesterday. We'll not talk about the first race because of the last corner. However, you did second place and won the second. This track, you know it better than anybody. Like it feels like it's foot down the entire way. On track, what are you looking forward to?
You know, when I'm commentating on the Saxos, it is pretty much just flat everywhere. I was sitting with Carl Wells on Thursday actually, and yeah, these kids they're not afraid, and they're all pretty brave to be going around here. So yeah, I think it'll be a good race, and hopefully there's some action.
They are, we've seen them for the last few years. They are no fear kids. Charlotte, you raced in junior saloons not too many years ago, racing in the Civic Cup this year, raced track action yesterday. Do you want to get into a racing driver? Do you want to be a broadcaster? Are you getting the vibe for broadcasting and commentating here already?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, motorsport's my passion, and I could talk for hours about it. So why not talk to hundreds of people on YouTube about it.
Fantastic. Well, we have got our first race coming up very shortly. It is scheduled for 10:45, and on my watch we're about 5 minutes away. The Sea of Trucks are on the grid. It's great to have the walkthrough as we had this morning. We don't get a chance to do that too often, but you can get, of course, at places like Thruxton, anywhere on the Bark package, you can get into the paddock, speak to the drivers, and you'll know this better than anybody, Charlotte. It is incredibly friendly paddock. The place to be at Bark events. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've pretty much all of my racing has been BARC racing, so yeah, it's such a friendly paddock, and I know from before when I've had sort of moments in the car and I've had crashes or whatever, everyone wants to help, and it is just like a big family. So yeah, I love the BARC weekends.
Fantastic. Charlotte, we can't wait for you to commentate with us on the Junior Saloons. But behind me, just arrived, here he is. Look at that, is that a bead of sweat down there?
No, it wasn't that far away, you, and I'm okay. I've had a gentle stroll over. It's all absolutely fine.
Charlotte, if we can swap microphones, get Pointy in, we'll see you for the Junior Saloons very, very shortly. Thank you so much for being with us as well. Pointy, come on in. Just been part of the grid walk, of course. We're going to see the grids in just a moment. For race 3. Now, race 3 is our first reverse grid of the weekend, which means there should be plenty of overtaking today, which there wasn't too much of yesterday. Again, the track lends itself to just foot down all out.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, it is a very high-speed track. Any of the British truck racing drivers will tell you that as well. But yeah, today the reverse grid. So, of course, because of the little hoo-ha we had yesterday morning, we went on championship positions for the start procedures of the first 2 races. But today we're going to get a reverse grid of race 1 yesterday. So, yeah, we were just talking to Dave Smith, actually. He's on the second row there in 3rd position. We can see there down on the grid. Fantastic shot there, actually. Looks brilliant. We've had some brilliant weather today, and we've had some terrible weather today already. already. So, you know, chatting to the drivers before we went live, no one really knew what setup to have, but we are going to see some action. We are going to see some overtaking, especially from the likes of further back. We've got Michael Oliver there, Ryan Smith very far down the line there. They're going to be looking to make some early moves.
I mean, that's where he loves to be. Let's have a look through the grid, though. On the front row, again, the reverse grid. Neil Yates alongside Tom O'Rourke. On row number 2, David Smith and John Bowler. On row number 3, Stephen Powell alongside Dave Jenkins, currently second in the championship. Then Michael Oliver had a pretty good day yesterday, but not as good as our championship leader, Ryan Smith. 2 wins out of 2. And won them both by 10 seconds plus. Row 5, we start Division 2. John Powell alongside Simon Cole. Simon Cole, great stat, leading the championship, not won a race yet.
No, we were talking to him on the grid, just before the grid walk actually, and he was saying how he's been having loads of technical issues. However, he's kind of playing the strategy game this year. As long as he can finish all those races, he might actually build enough points up in Division 2 to take a position overall.
It is working. Leading the championship, not won a race yet in Division 2, but consistency is key, as we know. We should have one more row. Should see a row number 6, I think, unless we've had a Div 2 drop out. Let's have a little look. We do. Paul Rivette and Archie Handy. Didn't race yesterday, Archie Handy, but he's on the grid now.
He's on the grid on the picture, but not in real life. He's still having issues, so he won't be racing this morning. Whether or not we see him later on in the day is to be decided. But yeah, some issues with the gearbox apparently, Simon was saying, and it's not worth the risk of trying to drive the truck without those gears, because of course, even Simon himself said, experienced driver, I'd struggle, so it's not worth putting that pressure on him.
And just a word on Stuart Oliver. We know he was, in inverted brackets, okay.
Okay,
Have you spoken to him today?
I have, yeah. We've done a nice little interview with him, a catch-up. He was on his feet in high spirits, so we will, of course, be having a see of that interview at the lunch break, luckily. So you'll be able to catch up with him then. And, yeah, but he's fine.
you can't put plaster cast on ribs, can you? You just got to grin and bear it.
You have to just crack on.
Pump yourself full of paracetamol.
Yeah, pardon the phrase, but you have to just crack on. Yeah.
Right, so Ryan Smith, dominant yesterday, the 2 10-second plus wins. Starting in 8th place, I mean, do you anticipate, Pointy, him coming through the grid by several places, even on the first few corners, first lap? What do you
I mean, yeah, going off experience and what we've seen from Ryan Smith's driving skill before, I think it shan't take him too long to start making up those places. Although, you know, we've got drivers at the front like John Bowler, very good a driver at the moment. Tom O'Rourke in an extremely fast truck, and Neil Yates as well. So I mean, you know, he's got a lot of people to get past, which don't want to let him past, for that matter, as well. So it will be an interesting journey to pole position, but I'm going to touch wood and say he's probably going to be okay getting there.
And Mr. Powell got 2 third place. We got a 2nd and a 4th. Yes, it was Dave Jenkins got 2 third place finishes.
Yes.
He really, to keep this competitive, we need him to sort of be ahead of Ryan Smith to keep the championship sort of like exciting.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, this is it. He does need to keep on with these third places. I mean, you know, Dave Jenkins coming 2nd overall in the championship last year. Always feels like Dave is always the bridesmaid, never the bride, and he's just looking for that first place, you know. And he works so hard. His team works so hard, and I think if anybody deserves it, it's Dave Jenkins' team, you know. So fingers crossed he can really make those points pile up this year. And again, as we said yesterday, it's unfortunate really that someone has to do badly for someone else to do well, you know. And but that's just the case of racing. Well, any sport, isn't it, really?
Pointy, your glasses are steaming up. Are you okay?
I know, it's warm in here. I mean, it's quite breezy outside, but if I take my glasses off, then I'll probably not. Look, there's condensation on my glasses. Can you see? Look at that. Absolutely shocking.
As long as you can see the screen, we're going to be absolutely fine.
Oh, look, and it looks like we're actually being joined by an interloper.
This. Excellent.
Again.
Stuart, round
come
here.
on in the middle.
You have to share a mic with Pointy.
And here you go.
I won't touch you. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, but don't hug us. Don't make us laugh. None of pointless jokes, or I'm going.
They don't work anyway, don't worry. Can you talk us through, Stuart, the incident yesterday? We didn't see it because it was in practice. What actually happened? I understand that the truck's in a pretty bad way.
Yeah, it'll take more than T-cut to fix it. But yeah, it basically, I had a few laps. Truck was really good. Truck was really good in the first few laps. Came into pit lane, did a few changes, went out to do another flying lap. Came around turn 1, one of the pistons decided it didn't want to be in the engine anymore, and decided it wanted to be out. But on its way out, it knocked the power steering pump off. So unfortunately, you do need that to be able to steer, and it just locked the steering straight. Went over the Armco. I thought I was going to be into the hangars with the aeroplanes, but managed to avoid them and ended in a pile.
And next round is at Donington next month. Likelihood of being there?
100%.
Okay, brilliant.
100%. Whether with that truck, I think, is maybe 50-50,
Okay.
but it will be there with something.
Fantastic. And Michael did your parade in the first race, though, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Yeah, well, you know, when I was lying on the A&E bed in the tram in Salisbury Hospital, I was watching it, and yeah, it looked good from where I was. So yeah, he did really well. He's race by race, event by event. He's racecraft. Yeah, I'm not saying anybody can go fast, but it's relatively easy to go fast. But it's the racecraft that's the secret, especially in truck racing. You know, you've got to be able to get your way around and get between and take opportunities when they arise, but not force opportunities, and he's picking that up really well, so I'm proud of him.
Now, do you still mentor him, or is he good enough in his own right?
He's got the basics, he's got the knowledge, he's been around a long time, obviously, you know, sort of coming with me and watching how we do it, and we talk a lot, and you just naturally just talk about truck racing, so it's not that you're mentoring him, it's just you have sort of debriefs without knowing you're having debriefs, and he picks it up and gets to know what's what, and you get to know other fellow competitors' weaknesses, which you can capitalise on if you're in the right place at the right time.
Which is now ribs, of course, as weaknesses goes.
Pointy, I said, don't make me laugh.
Pointy doesn't make many people laugh, don't worry.
I don't ever make people laugh. I am a joke. I don't tell jokes. That's how we work.
So first race of the day coming up, 15-minute race, Pointy. They are under the pace truck right now.
Yes.
And we're anticipating the pace truck coming in this lap.
Yes, I believe we're going to stick with the same routine as we did yesterday, so it's just an out lap with the pace truck straight into a rolling start, which of course will be confirmed very shortly as they are making their way around the back now. In the distance there you can see the air ambulance that Stuart never got a lift in yesterday. Very disappointed. He did try his best, but you know, next time, better luck next time. Right then, so yeah, I mean it's looking a little bit damp out there still. As I said, we had torrential rain just before the grid walk, but then some lovely sunshine. Now this can cause some traction issues, especially if guys have gone out there with a full wet setup. Bear in mind, very little can actually be done to these trucks with regards to setup. The suspension isn't changed or anything like that. We don't have different tyres. It's literally just tyre pressures and anti-roll bar strength, which most will either have fully on or fully off. But those tyre pressures will make a difference, especially if this track starts to dry out early on in the race. We start to get a bit of heat in those tyres. If they're on wet, this could start to create some issues later in the race.
Now, Stuart, Pointy sounds like he knows what he's talking about there. Was all that correct?
I was impressed. I might see if he wants to be a mechanic in his spare time. But yeah, basically yes. But I think what I was just out on the grid there, and it's drying up fast. So I think the first 1 or 2 laps it will be greasy, and the problem will be when the boys come round through the chicane on the start finish, reattraction, because they'll be set up for either wet or dry. There isn't really an in between. But certainly, like Pointy just also said, 2 laps in, I think we'll be looking at a dry circuit. So then. It'll be anybody's guess.
It is remarkable. It's remarkable how quickly this track dries, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's as we experience in most of the circuits that the trucks race on during the year, not the widest of places in the world. So of course, when you're covering, you know, twice the width of an average racing car, you know, there's a lot more tarmac getting driven on, a lot more tarmac drying out, and yeah, it doesn't take more than a few laps for a few different racing lines to dry out all the important parts, shall we say?
I mean, it doesn't look like it, but the heavens opened less than half an hour ago.
It's really strange here, actually. I don't know whether they've got some special ground around here in Andover, but it absolutely poured down. Loads of sitting water in the paddock. But yeah, looking down on the tarmac now, and it looks pretty dry. So the pace truck is in. It looks like we are on the starters' orders. The red lights go out, and it's go, go, go for the British Truck Racing Championship. Bit of a tail wiggle there from Neil Yates early on as John Bowler makes his way through very quickly. Dave Jenkins looking good. It's side by side for the Powell brothers further back, but Ryan Smith Looks like he's stuck back in 5th for the first few bends there. Michael Oliver looking around the outside of John Powell early on. What an interesting start to the race, but we are well underway, Ewan.
Yeah, Ryan Smith moving from 8th into 6th already in the first couple of corners, but that's what we anticipated as they go through the complex. And it's a little bit further back as well. Simon Cole looking to get his first win in the championship, but still, again, as we've mentioned already, leading division number 2. Dave Jenkins sitting in 3rd place. Ryan Smith already from 8th through to 4th. This is quick.
This is very quick. Obviously, everyone's enjoying the moisture on the circuit. Lots of steam coming there off Tom O'Rourke, though. John Bowler all over the back of him, but Dave Jenkins showing that experience as he is literally climbing all over John Bowler. This is going to be an exciting first lap as he looks for the inside line. Again, bit of traction loss there from Dave Jenkins, bit of a wiggle. Could still be some moisture on the circuit there as it's side by side. I tell you what, I wouldn't like to be in Tom O'Rourke's position here, looking in my rearview mirrors.
Stuart, first couple of laps is a little bit greasy. What are you just testing the surface? What are you sort of going through your mind in these days? You want to pick up places, but you want to sort of keep the truck on the track as well.
Absolutely, it's all about stopping on the track, as we know. But yeah, the faster laps will start coming now once they've had a feel for the circuit, and they're coming up to probably the worst point now, which I'll let you talk through. But
and Dave Jenkins, a bit of a touch on the inside, gets a wiggle again, but maintains 2nd position, going through as they come through the club chicane for the end of the first lap. Well, nearly a little bit of drama here, and Dave Jenkins is going to look to the inside as they go round Allard Corner over the start finish. This is foot down here, and Dave Jenkins from 6th straight into 1st position after 1 lap point. That's exactly where he wants to be as Ryan Smith moves into 3rd.
This is looking great. We kind of suspected what Ryan Smith was going to achieve this race, but fantastic news for Dave Jenkins getting into that 1st position. Ryan's still got to make his way past Tom O'Rourke, and then it will be the battle for 1st. Will Dave be able to hold off Ryan Smith for long enough? A battle further back, though, we can see with Steve Powell and Dave Smith both behind teammate Neil Yates, of course. Whoa, massive sideways action there from Michael Oliver as he comes around the bend. Perfectly keeps it on the tarmac, though. We have definitely got some wet patches out there still, haven't we?
Drifting trucks. Now, Michael started in 7th place after the 2nd place finish in race number 1 yesterday. He's already through to 5th as well. Here's Ryan Smith. That's a long way round on the outside. The two bullnoses going head-to-head, switches to the inside. That is a great move. Lined that one up absolutely beautifully, and he will now race after Dave Jenkins.
That was a beautiful move. This is the kind of racing skill we love to see from Ryan Smith. It really is. Let's be honest, he's got a fast truck, but it's moves like that. It was clean, it was precise, he knew exactly where he was going to do it. Tom O'Rourke just hadn't got a chance.
Now, we mentioned Stuart plenty of times when you joined us at Pembrokeshire as well. Watching Michael here, obviously pride in your son as well, but are you thinking keep that truck on the track, or are you telling to, in your mind, just go for it, give it everything? Because that's your money out there.
It is my money out there, yeah. I'll try, but no, keep it on the track is important. But he's taking it nice. There's still a lot of racing left to go. Sort of 12 minutes or just under 12 minutes left. So, he was in front of John Bowler yesterday, in front of Tom O'Rourke yesterday. The two up front, Ryan and Dave. Well, yeah, they are getting the legs on him now. But it's to finish first you've got to finish, and that's how it works. And as he's coming around there, he's now getting the feel for the truck. He's now steadier, as you can see there. It's dead easy to lose the back end, so he's doing a good job.
Still sliding out, pick up a little bit of dirt at the back there. There's Tom O'Rourke defending 3rd position right now to Bowler, and this will give Michael Oliver just the chance to pick up a few tenths of a second as they battle and go on the defensive line.
Bunching up very quickly there. Tom O'Rourke, of course, now in defensive mode, but John Bowler looking for that gap through on the inside. Will he be able to make it stick before the next corner? Showing the power there, though, the 86 Freightliner from Tom O'Rourke, just managing to shut the door. But John and Michael looking for a 2-for-1 looking at these angles. I tell you what, it's going to be an interesting next lap for these guys with just over 10 minutes left of the race. We've still got a good 8 laps left, haven't we?
Indeed. Now, Stuart, when you're setting up for these, Thruxton's quite unique because it's not foot down the entire way. There's not that many overtaking opportunities, and when you're like 3 metres wide and weighing a few tonne, when you're looking at the lap, are there particular points on the lap that you're thinking, these are my chances?
Ryan Smith just demonstrated perfectly. That's your chance, and I was hoping Michael was going to do it on that lap because you could have got John and Tom. And that is probably your best. This point they're coming to now with the complex. as I thought John was going to do, but he didn't. But you know, yeah, Tom's protected very, very well. Michael's going to get the faster exit here, so maybe he can do something on the start-finish straight. But there's not many places where you can do it.
We saw it yesterday during plenty. Oh, that's a great picture of the crowd there. Despite the rain, great numbers here at Thruxton enjoying the action. Again, 12 races today to enjoy, 3 for the British trucks and plenty more aside as well. That is a great view for those boys and girls out on the hill there, isn't it? So Jenkins still leading by, oh, is he though? I was going to say by 600th of a second, but Ryan Smith is going to get the inside line through the complex and drop Dave Jenkins down to third. That's taken him just 5 minutes to move from 8th into the lead. And if he does what we saw him do yesterday, he tends to just drive away now.
He will power away now, Ryan Smith. I mean, that was a tight corner there, but they both made it through unscathed, which is good news. But look at the distance already. Ryan Smith power down now. Honestly, he's got those magic invisible wings that send him flying ahead. You can see the power, though, he's putting in now. But it is still a race. I mean, Dave Jenkins sticking with him a bit here, catching him on the corners, so still could go either way. But let's be honest, it's Ryan Smith we're talking about, 8-time champ.
So there's a race for the win up the front, and behind them the race for 3rd, 4th of it, the final spot on the Division 1 podium. Currently still with O'Rourke on our timing screens. Let's just have a little look as this comes through, though. Here's one of the very long straights for our leaders. There's Smith ahead of Jenkins, and behind them it is still John O'Rourke, but here comes John Bowler on the outside. Michael Oliver watching and waiting in the wings. Now this is a really wide track, Thruxton, and see, it's one of the rare occasions you can get 3 trucks wide in a racing
still
scenario.
tight though, Ewan.
Can John Bowler get the inside, or is Tom Rourke going to defend? Yes, he does, through the club chicane. And they'll have to give it one more go next time round. They'll go foot to the floor over the start finish. Just under 8 minutes remaining of track action number 1 on day 2 here at Thruxton.
It really is a racing game of momentum, though, with these heavy machines. 5 tons, of course, racing around. It's something you have got to plan. The manoeuvres are still quite quick, but they're not as darty as a lot of the smaller machines, of course. So if you can't get that in, you've got no chance. But John Bowler looking for a space past as Michael Oliver's going to make it too. Is it going to happen? Is it going to stick? Tom O'Rourke looking for the defensive line, but I think Mike might have it. Oh, we've got contact. Tom O'Rourke not too chuffed about that inside move there. We've still got contact between Michael and Tom O'Rourke as Tom forces Michael wide over onto the grass. Michael Oliver loses a bit of panel damage, which allows Steve Powell to make his way through. The pair of them, 2 positions gained in one go for Steve Powell there. John Bowler comfortably into 3rd, but what's going on with Tom and Michael? Saying no thank you, I'm not having both of you come past me. But of course he did miss Steve Powell. What's some action there? Michael Oliver looking for another space pass though. He's having another go, coming round with plenty of room. What will we see as the result when we come round onto this next camera feed? It could be anyone's guess, as long as we see both trucks make their way around. Yes, Michael has indeed done it. Into 5th place, I believe now, just behind Steve Powell. But of course, I think he's going to be a little bit upset there, having that opportunity for 4th taken away from him with that little coming together.
What an opportunity for Powell, though. He was in, well, 6th position. He's up to 4th place now. Watching that one, Stuart, what's going through your mind? Was that fair? Was that a little bit too much rubbing?
No, that was fair. You know, it is what it is. You know, Tom, you know, he left room, but maybe not just enough, but it was what it was. But, you know, that just what was said to me earlier, right place, right time. Steve Powell capitalised there massively. You know, he wasn't in the, looking at it from our side, he wasn't in the shout for to be moving up. And all of a sudden he's passed 2 guys in front of him. So, you know, it's fantastic.
And as you said, Pointy, with these trucks being so heavy, you dab the brakes and getting that momentum back. And they take advantage of that, don't they?
You can't just shoot it across the circuit, and at the same time, once you slow it down, you've got no chance. Division 2 now, though, on the tail of John Powell and Paul Rivett, on the tail of Tom O'Rourke. Maybe Tom O'Rourke has lost a bit of speed there, a bit of a problem, a bit of smoke coming out there, as Michael Oliver looking for the overtake on Steve Powell now. But Paul Rivett, the battle for Division 2 is on this weekend. Paul Rivett, of course, missing a race yesterday. John Powell taking 2 races home. What's going on further up the field, Ewan?
3rd place, John Bowler just holding off Michael Oliver right now. And then he's got the taste for it now on these corners. Going to move to the inside once again in the battle for 4th place. Great move down the inside. Can he make it stick? Both men foot to the floor. We're going to wait for the next camera. Looks like he's got through to me. And that is a fantastic move. That is no holds barred, right foot against the floor. And he has got ahead. Michael Oliver into 4th place now, ahead of Powell. Next up the road, John Bowler.
That's my boy. That's right. Yeah, the phrase I just splatted. I just tapped Stuart on the back there. That won't be comfortable at all. Sorry about that, Stuart. But yeah, Paul Rivette's taken the first position from John Palno back in Division 2. As I say, he's got something to prove this weekend with turbo issues yesterday, popping on an old turbo that they had with the truck yesterday, but then having boost hose issues, which is why he was so slow in the second race of Saturday. But I tell you what, this is brilliant racing. This is some of the best racing I've seen for quite some time here at Thruxton. So many overtakes, so many manoeuvres. It's brilliant to watch.
And that is why we love the reverse grid. We had the 2 races yesterday, which pretty much went to the grid formation. And of course, Ryan Smith moved away. But we want the overtaking. The reverse grid, Stuart, is that something you as a driver appreciate and enjoy? Because we do as fans.
Fantastic. You know, I think if the truth was known a few years back, it was my idea that we'd introduce it into truck racing, and it certainly spiced it up. But one thing to notice there, Ewan, on the bottom and just flagged at the cross, Ryan Smith fastest lap 83 miles an hour. Them's things that go around the motorway, around the M25 at 56 miles an hour. That's what they're designed for. So, you know, to do an average lap of 83 miles an hour in the dries even more, you know, that's where you realise just what these guys are doing.
So my cornflakes could be delivered a bit quicker.
I was going to say, is there a situation where we could get the M25 to move at 83 miles an hour?
I think certain authorities might have something to say about that, but yeah, there's some do try it, but it's not recommended.
No, these things do max out at 100 miles an hour, as we spoke about yesterday, Pointy. And if you're trackside at any of these events at a British Truck Racing Championship, the noise, the thunderous
there's
vibrations.
no limit on the noise. They limit the speed,
it.
but not the noise. This is it. And I mean, they can go even faster. I mean, I've been to years ago in some European circuits where it was a bit of a free-for-all back in the day, and they used to go very quick. It was crazy.
A question, Stuart, if they weren't capped, how fast could these go? No holds barred.
No, I think you'd have to change the gear ratios in them because of the way the gear is to get the maximum power, maximum torque down to the wheels on that gear ratio. But the biggest problem we have, we were playing around a few years ago, the windscreen starts coming onto your lap if you go over 100. the sort of, you know, the force against the windscreen sort of, but you know, you 120, 140 mile an hour dead easy, you know, it wouldn't be an issue.
I'd love to see that.
I'd love to do that.
Not round Brands Hatch,
yeah,
but I'd love to see that.
No. Yeah, they might make it here. They might make it here. Maybe get a straight run on an airfield somewhere. So where are we then back with the racing? Division 2, Paul Rivette making moves now on the back of Tom O'Rourke. I think he's definitely got some kind of issues there as he slips out slightly wide there, as Paul Rivette's looking for the inside line now to join the pack of Division 1. What's going on there?
I mean, we are getting big gaps now, so we're focusing on the race. Dave Jenkins 2 seconds back of your leader Ryan Smith, then 12 seconds back to John Bowler, 5 to Michael Oliver. So the top 4 look pretty set in stone, so we will stay with the racing action. Remember, this is Div 1 defending Div 2 here, and there's a significant difference between Div 1 and Div 2. This is impressive to see Div 1 all over the back of Tom O'Rourke here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, absolutely. I do think Tom maybe has a rear tyre issue because he.
You did point at the screen. What were you pointing at?
He's struggling on his rear. I think, you know. Is it Michael Oliver? Maybe had a bit of a touch with him. So, but you know, I think looking at his right turns, his back end stepping out, so possibly has an issue. But you know, it is really impressive that on a circuit like this where you get up to 100 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour is 100 mile an hour, whether you Div 1 or Div 2. It's just how quick you come out the corners on the complexes. But it is impressive.
We are into a final minute of racing. Next time Ryan Smith crosses the line, that will be race 1 done here at Thruxton. Again, a dozen races to enjoy. And there is your leader. He has just got to coast this one home. It's a wonderful looking truck and
very striking. I was just about to say, always a striking paint job from Ryan Smith, and matches his very exciting hairstyle this weekend as well.
So it looks like a 1-2-3 go the way. Ryan Smith, 3rd win of the weekend coming up. Dave Jenkins will move up to the 2nd step of the podium for the first time after 2 3rd place finishes yesterday. And John Bowler will get his 1st podium of the weekend after 2 5th place finishes yesterday. So improvement for John Bowler and taking advantage of that scrap we had around about the halfway stage.
What a result! Yeah, I mean it's great to see John Bowler on the podium there. Great team, very good family environment. What's this? I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. You pointing at the viewing screen here as Paul Rivett has another go at Tom O'Rourke, but I just don't think. I think he's in the wrong. Oh, he's off. There we go. Overcooked it slightly. As John Powell takes advantage of the grass action there from Paul Rivett and makes his way back into first place for the Division 2. Unbelievable. I mean, you've got to try it. He shot his shot, but unfortunately Tom O'Rourke was wearing a vest.
These things don't work too well on grass. There's Ryan Smith then, third win of the weekend, first win of the day for the reigning 7-time British champion. That'll be maximum points with a fastest lap as well. Dave Jenkins, second step of the podium for the first time this weekend, and John Bowler, if he crosses the line, should be about 14 seconds back on the previous lap. It'll be his first podium of the weekend. Yes, it is. A 1, 2, 3 in the British Truck Racing Championship. Michael Oliver third. Stuart, happy with that? So I mean, there's a fair gap between them as we get to the end of these races. Are you happy? Will Michael be happy?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. You know, he's finished. He's got a little bit of bodywork missing, but he's finished. He's, you know, there's no major issues. He obviously just didn't have the traction on the start, but he made it back up and got up there. And unfortunately, he sort of tangled with Tom on that, you know, over the back. Let Steve come through, which then delayed Michael a little bit, but yeah, he'd be more than happy with that.
Now, unfortunately, of course, you were with us at Pembrey for a few of the races after an incident there. Are you getting the taste of commentary? Would you rather be in here or would you rather be out there?
Oh, 100% out there. not have nothing, you know, I like you as a guy, you know, and certainly I enjoy being in here because it's starting to rain again, so that's fantastic. I'm in here and it's dry, and but no, you know, it's that's what's in my DNA. It's racing, you know, and truck racing, not just racing, it's, you know, in particular. So yeah, I love it.
Perfect. Next race at 2 o'clock. You coming back to join me in Pointy?
If it's raining outside, I'll come in here. Yeah. No, I'm more than happy to come in, and so, you know, it's great to see it from another side, and hear, you know, the great work that you guys do to make the people around the world see what's going on.
Well, your insight, Stuart, is absolutely brilliant. What we're trying to do this weekend is get as many experts in the commentary box as we possibly can during the races, and you are a great addition to that. So thank you for joining us again.
Thank you very much.
So let's have a little look in a moment through the finishing grid. It'll be on the screen in just a second. There we go. So confirmed Ryan Smith, fastest lap and a win. Fastest lap set on lap number 8, 1 minute 40.73. Dave Jenkins, 3 seconds back, third consecutive podium this weekend. John Bowler, first podium of the week, and he'll be on step number 3 ahead of Michael Oliver and Stephen Powell. And then we have the Div 2s in 6th and 7th overall. John Powell ahead of Paul Rivett, just touching the grass at the end of the last lap as he tried to get past Tom O'Rourke, who finishes 6th in Div 1 ahead of Neil Yates and David Smith. Third place, championship leader at the moment, Simon Cole in Division 2. 8 laps down, so didn't finish the race. So we'll see how many points he gets for that, and we'll try and get an updated schedule for you, or updated table of the championship ahead of race number 4, which is going to be at 2 o'clock. I'll be joined again by Pointy and Stuart Oliver. Next race coming up on the schedule, it is going to be the Mini Challenge Club Sport with Airtech Motorsport. But before that, Pointy is once again got his running shoes on. He's making his way over to Park Fermate. You can see the minis there getting ready for our next race as Ryan Smith pulls in behind, and I believe we can go down to Pointy, who is trackside.
Well, here I am in the flesh now, from voice to face, and of course the winner you were all expecting, Ryan Smith, taking another first place, the third first place trophy this weekend. I'm just going to come in, I don't really want to stay in this bit here. They'll tell me off, but you know, it's one of those. Waiting for Ryan Smith to get out of the trot now. Obviously we had an early retirement from Simon Cole today in that first race because of issues with his ECU. They're hopefully going to get that shifted, but of course that's if it's drivable, so that's why Simon Cole had to come off. Waiting now for Ryan Smith to get out, if he will. Otherwise we're going to have a walkover. Come on in here, John, because I want to have a word with another John in the blue over here, the blue MAN of John Bowler. Anytime today. Right, I think we're. Are we waiting for the trucks? Is he going to come through here? Right, if you just come round here out of the way. Watch your fingers, Dad. There you go. Right then, come out of the way. What a result! What an absolute result! It is a nice helmet, yes. It's like just getting some people appreciating the colour of your skid lid. That was some great driving. You were on it the entire time. You made that move past Tom O'Rourke about halfway through the race. What was going through your mind when you made the manoeuvre?
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way, and you listened.
Yeah, I think he listened. He felt telepathic thoughts, but yeah, no, it was a good race. Congratulations, big boy.
Of course, someone that was hoping to use that gap with you, Michael Oliver, was right with you at the time. But then Tom must have said, oh, I've missed John, but there's Michael, and he shut the door completely. I mean, it was literally last orders at the bar there for Michael Oliver.
Certainly was, yeah. I mean, me and Michael were battling and we were getting a little bit held up, a bit of a backlog. Managed to get a little bit of space to make the move, and we got through, so yeah, great.
And then, of course, later on in the race, you probably didn't see them because you were miles ahead of everybody else. But Tom O'Rourke battling with Michael Oliver, they came together, and Steve Powell made his way round instead as well. So literally, I mean, 2 spaces missed there for the guys behind you, but it just goes to show it's that keeping with it, that consistency of your lap time and your positioning that can put you in a position to make that kind of move.
That's it, yeah, and we're 2 years in now with the truck. It's good to get another podium on the shelf, and hopefully there'll be a few more coming this year.
Can't wait to hand you out some silverware, buddy. So yeah, fantastic. Right, let's have a quick chat. Oh, a umbrella. Who's this for? Oh, thanks so much. I'm okay. It's for you. You have the umbrella. Poor Yvette, what was going through your head? Honestly, I tell you, we thought it was all to play for. It was going to go perfectly, and then we found the grass and lost the position to John Powell. But you got to do it. You got to try.
Well, we needed the point for fastest lap, and I was being held up by Tom, so I made a lovely move around the outside of him at Noble, and he just pushed me straight in the grass. So
I'm not allowed to comment anymore. I'm on strict orders to just go with the flow. But yeah, so I concur if I'm allowed to. So that's obviously put you in second place. But the truck looks a lot better than it did yesterday. We take it you fixed those those issues.
yeah, the team have done a fantastic job, and this Napa Racing UK truck is back on form again, and yeah, we'll be back there flying in these next 2 races.